Last time we have seen two types of charge distribution, uniform and non-uniform. So how we can say that charge distribution is uniform? The meaning is very simple. When the charges are when the charges are not accumulated. Accumulated means collected. When the charges are not accumulated in some part area, some part of a conductor, but it means that charges, but it is spread, it is distributed uniformly, but it is spread uniformly. Spread uniformly on the conductor or on the surface of the conductor. On the surface of a conductor. Then the distribution of charge is called as uniform distribution. So last time we have seen some example. If this is a sphere and by ebonite rod or by glass rod charges are given, so if the charge is distributed uniformly, हे charges आपण दाखवतो ना असे इक्विडिस्टन्स दाखवायला पाहिजे. So this is called as uniform distribution. Non-uniform distribution already आपण बघितलेलं आहे. Suppose this is the same sphere, but now when a glass rod is kept here, so due to the positive charges, these positive charges are repelled and they are collected more in this region. And see this difference. The charges are distributed uniformly, the charges are not distributed uniformly. The charges are accumulated more in this region than this region. So this is a non-uniform distribution. Non-uniform distribution. Now we are going to see the subtypes of this uniform distribution. One dimensional, two dimensional, three dimensional. Last time we have seen the classification. So first we will see the term related with the one dimensional uniform distribution, and it is called as linear charge density. Linear charge density. It is denoted by lambda. This is called as linear or one-dimensional linear or one-dimensional distribution. The term linear charge density is used for one-dimensional charge distribution like this. So the definition is given like this. The distribution of charge. Definition. The distribution of charge per unit length the distribution of charge per unit length of a conductor is called linear charge density, LINE, linear charge density. This is the first one. It is denoted by lambda. So it gives the one-dimensional distribution of charge. Second one, it gives one-dimensional distribution. Along x-axis or along y-axis or along z-axis. It gives the one-dimensional distribution. For example, if we consider a rod like this, so this rod has some charges given, so charge is distributed uniformly like this. Let Q be the charge given and this L is the length of the conductor. Then charge front length Q upon L is called as the linear charge density. So in this case, the linear charge density is given by linear charge density lambda. Linear charge density lambda is equal to charge given upon length L. So once we know the formula in physics, we can do some additional points. Lambda has charge front length as SI unit, coulomb per meter. एक तो यूनिट माहिती आहे की आपल्याला डायमेन्शन पण करता येईल. सो डायमेन्शन्स ऑफ लॅम्बडा are the dimensions of separate करू. Dimensions of charge front length lambda are found like this. So dimensions of lambda charge front length is equal to dimensions of charge, Q means charge, and dimensions of length. So we know that I is equal to Q by T, and therefore Q is equal to IT. So dimensions of charge means dimensions of current multiplied by dimensions of time divided by dimensions of length. Current is defined as rate of flow of charge, therefore Q. Already आपण चार्जचे dimensions यूज केलेले dimension च्या चॅप्टर मध्ये. So this is equal to, now I will write down in short. Dimensions of current are written on the I raised to 1. M raised to 0, L raised to, or I will write down completely. M raised to 0, L raised to 0, T raised to 0, I raised to 1. Now time, it is a fundamental quantity. M raised to 0, L raised to 0, T raised to 1. Upon length, again it is fundamental quantity. यदि के fundamental quantity M raised to 0, L raised to 1, T raised to 0. So when this L raised to 1 go up, it will become minus. So dimensions are M0, L raised to minus 1, T raised to 1, and I raised to 1. So these are the dimensions. Dimensions are m0, l raised to minus 1, t raised to minus 1, and a raised to minus 1, a for ampere. त्यावेळेस ह्या I time a पण लिहितो. Q is equal to IT. So, once we know the formula, definition, we can find this value like this. आपल्या नोट्समध्ये ह्या टर्म चेक करून घ्यायचे. टी रेस टू -1 झालेलं असेल तर +1 करून घ्यायचं. सो दीज आर द डायमेन्शन्स. नाउ वी विल कन्सिडर वन एक्झाम्पल. प्रॉब्लेम नंबर 5. पॉइंट नंबर 5. इफ dq is equal to charge present on small length dl, then lambda is equal to amount of charge present upon length L. Last one. Example. If we consider a ring of radius r and if the charges are distributed uniformly, so this is a ring, it is not a sphere. So charges are distributed uniformly. So if Q is charge distributed, एक example आपल्याला द्यायचं आहे म्हणून आपण हे example घेतलं. If the charge Q is distributed uniformly on a ring of a radius equal to r, then lambda is equal to charge given upon length L. So L is equal to circumference of a ring, and if we know the radius, then this is equal to 2 pi r. Substitute here. So lambda is equal to charge upon total length of the ring. So this is the basic formula. Lambda is equal to Q by L. L, it depends upon the shape of the conductor. If it is in the form of a ring, then L is equal to circumference, like this. So this is the basic equation. So this is called as linear charge distribution. Now let us see the second type, surface charge distribution. Surface charge distribution. Surface, or it is also called as the area. B type, surface charge density. That is called as the linear charge density. This is called as a surface charge density. It is denoted by the symbol sigma. Definition. अशी definition असेल, the distribution of charge per unit area of a conductor is called as surface charge density. So only these two words will change. So I will not write down the definition completely. I will give only short definition. Same definition. The distribution of charge per unit area of a conductor is called as the surface charge density. Only these two words will change: length, area, and linear distribution, charge distribution. This is the first one. Now, second one. It gives the two-dimensional distribution. It gives the two-dimensional distribution of charge. Two-dimensional distribution of charge. Now, if we consider a square plate having length L, breadth L, and the charges are distributed uniformly like this. So, if total charge Q is given like this, so Q is a charge given, therefore this surface charge density is given by surface charge density sigma is equal to Q upon A, and in this case A is taken as L square. So basic formula is this: sigma is equal to Q by A, surface area. So this A can be replaced by L square per square plate. If the plate is circular, then we will substitute here pi r square. So this is the basic formula. Third point, sigma has SI unit, coulomb per meter square. Fourth point, dimensions of sigma are. तो इथे फक्त चेंज होईल, मीटर त्या मीटर स्क्वेअर झाला म्हणजे इथे एल होता तर तो एल रेस टू -2 होऊन जाईल. सो डायमेन्शन्स आर एम रेस टू 0, एल रेस टू -2, टी रेस टू 1 अँड ए रेस टू 1, ए फॉर एम्पियर. म्हणजे चेंज कुठं होतो तो फक्त आपल्याला सांगता येईल. सो दिस इज एल रेस टू -2 इथे चेंज झाला. फिफ्थ पॉइंट, इफ dq is equal to charge present on small area dA, then sigma is equal to amount of charge upon area. Amount of charge upon area. So we will use this example. Sigma is equal to this Q upon L square, like this. Now this is the second type. The third type is three-dimensional distribution. Three-dimensional distribution. So I will extend here. C, volume charge density. Volume charge density. It is denoted by rho. In mechanics, we define the density as a mass upon volume. Same definition. The mass is replaced by charge. So again, this word will change. The distribution of charge per unit volume of a conductor is called as a volume charge density. हे फक्त ते दोन अंडरलाइन केलेले वर्ड फक्त चेंज करायचे असतात. सो डेफिनेशन, the distribution of charge per unit इथे चेंज per unit volume of a conductor is called volume charge density. Is called volume charge density. Volume charge density. This is the first one definition. Next point अपन repeat करते हैं. It is three-dimensional distribution. It gives three-dimensional distribution of charge. Three-dimensional distribution of charge. If Q is a charge in volume V, then this volume charge density is given by Q by V. So this is Q by L, this is Q by A, and this is Q by V. L for length, this A for area, and V for volume. This is equation C. This is equation B. So equation A, B, C gives respectively the three values. So now this is charge upon volume. Therefore, its unit will be coulomb per meter cube. This is coulomb per meter. This is coulomb per meter square. This is coulomb per meter cube. So third point. Rho has SI unit, coulomb per meter cube, and therefore the dimensions of rho are फक्त इथे बदल L raised to minus 1, L raised to minus 2, now L raised to minus 3, M raised to 0, L raised to minus 3, T raised to 1, A raised to 1. So these are the dimensions. Now same formula can be given like this. If dq charges are enclosed in the volume V, then lambda is equal to dq by dV. Now here we have considered a straight conductor where the charges q are given. Here we are considering the square plate. This is a ring, this is a plate. Now here we are considering the cylinder. Suppose this is a cylinder having a radius r and height say L. It may be denoted by H, capital L. Then the charges are enclosed inside the cylinder like this. So if the total charge is Q upon V, so in this case we know that volume of the cylinder is given by base area pi r square multiplied by height. So Q upon pi r square L. This is the value of the this is rho. This is rho. So here the charges are enclosed in a hollow cylinder. The cylinder has a radius of cross section r and length L. So its volume will be equal to base area upon height of pi r square into L. volume. If we consider a sphere, then it will be a 4/3 pi r cube. So this volume or this area, it depends upon the shape of the conductor. So these are the three types of distribution of charge: one-dimensional distribution, two-dimensional distribution, and three-dimensional distribution, like this. Now, this distribution of charge is important even to study the electric field, etc. Because type of the electric field depends upon the distribution of charge. So that electric field term we will see afterward. Before that, we have to consider the force. So what is the title of this chapter? Electrostatic. Therefore, we have to study the property of the static charges. And which property we are going to study? The properties are force, electric field intensity, electric potential energy. So first we are going to consider the force. We know that the two charges either repel each other or attract each other depending upon their type. So that relation for the force is given by Coulomb's, and it is known as a Coulomb's law of फोर्सेस इलेक्ट्रिकल चार्जेसमधले फोर्स कुलम्सने दिलेली ती लक्षात तर तो लॉ आता आपल्याला बघायचा आहे तो सो इन gravitational field we consider the gravitational forces and that gravitational force is given by Newton's law. This electric or electrostatic force is given by Coulomb's law. Coulomb is the name of the scientist. आपण चारचा याच सायंटिस्टचा युनिट दिले म्हणतो आपण तो सी कॅपिटल काढत असतो स्टेटमेंट द इलेक्ट्रोस्टॅटिक force of attraction. If the two charges are opposite, then they will attract each other. One charge is positive, other charge is negative, they will attract each other. The electrostatic force of attraction or a repulsion between two point electric charges has first. Now we know that force is a vector quantity, therefore it has magnitude, it has direction. So this now here is one more condition. The electrostatic force of attraction or repulsion between the 2-point electrical charges at rest, there should be no motion. So charges must be point charges, the charges must be at rest, has first magnitude directly proportional to the product of the two charges, and I will give the mathematical statement. It is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So if these are the charges Q1 and Q2 and separated by distance r, so this force has magnitude proportional to product of Q1 and Q2 and inversely proportional to square of distance between them, and direction. This is the magnitude, this is the direction, and it is always directed, means in the second part we are giving the direction. It is always directed along the line joining them. The force is directed along the line joining them. So depending upon the type of the force, we have to consider this direction. So now in our figure, if Q1 and Q2 both are positive, then Q1 will Q1 will repel Q2 in this direction. So if this is positive charge, this is also positive charge, then draw the line joining the two charges. So Q1 will repel Q2 in this direction. So this is the direction of the force. This is the direction of the force along the line joining the two charges. So this is the magnitude. So how we can give the magnitude? Therefore, by Coulomb's law, force F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2 and inversely proportional to R square. So हे दोघे वेक्टर आपण combine केले. Now we know the rule. In physics and math, we are using this rule so many times. When we remove the proportionality sign, we have to take some constant term, and therefore F is equal to some constant. That constant may be denoted by C, may be denoted by Q1, or may be denoted by K. So this is the magnitude, equation 1. Now what is C? C is a constant of proportionality. Constant of proportionality. In dimensions, we have seen that this constant of proportionality, some constant of proportionality are dimensionless, some are having dimension, having unit term. So this C is also a constant of proportionality, but it is having unit, it is having dimension. And for that purpose, we should know this value of C. So this C, constant of proportionality, it is given by, for vacuum, the two charges Q1 and Q2 are kept in vacuum. This C is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. This quantity is completely new for you. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. This is the value of this constant of proportionality C. So in this equation, this value of epsilon naught I will give here, and therefore substituting value, this C is 9 into 10 raised to 9. Now you can find the unit from this equation. C is equal to, this R square will go here, so Newton into meter square, and this Coulomb into Coulomb square. So Newton meter square per Coulomb square, it is the value of this constant of proportionality, this is the unit. Now what is this epsilon naught? Where? epsilon naught कसा काढायचा ते पण लक्षात घ्या. असा सी सारखा शेप काढायचा, मध्ये त्याला हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन जोडायची आणि व्हॅक्यूमसाठी इथे हा 0 ॲड करायचा असतो. दिस 0 नॉट इज यूज फॉर व्हॅक्यूम. So it is called as, this quantity has certain meaning. It is called as permittivity of medium. In our case, it is vacuum. Permittivity of the vacuum, and it has value 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12. आता epsilon naught ची युनिट जर पाहिजे असेल तर ती याच्या उलट देईल, कारण हे दोघी रेसिप्रोकल येते. सो दिस epsilon naught has unit Coulomb square per Newton meter square. So this is called as the permittivity. Permittivity ही क्वांटिटी ती थोडीशी रिफ्रेशिव्ह नेक्स्ट सारखी, नंतर बघू आपण डिटेलमध्ये. सो if you substitute this value, C is equal to, in this equation, so equation 1 gives F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by Q1 first charge, Q2 ही फक्त मॅग्निट्यूड आहे, मायनस येण्यास असं तर निग्लेक्ट करायचं असतं ते. सो दिस इज द magnitude of the equation, magnitude of the this Coulomb force. It is also called as a Coulomb force. So this equation capital A gives the scalar form. Force is a vector quantity, therefore we can express it in scalar form, in vector form. Scalar form म्हणजे काय? In magnitude. Scalar form means in magnitude. Now, this Coulomb's law is also expressed in vector form also. Vector form means we are considering the direction also. That is called as a vector form. Scalar form means only magnitude. Vector form means magnitude as well as the direction. So direction is added, then it is called as a vector form. So we will see that vector form afterward. Before that, we have to see the limitation of Coulomb's law. This Coulomb's law has certain drawbacks, certain limitations. Limitations of Coulomb's law. First limitation, statement मध्ये देऊन गेलेले आहे बघा. The 2-point charges should be at rest. It is applicable or it is used when charges are at rest. Movable charges साठी नाही यूज करतात. Charges are at rest. This is the condition. Second condition is this: the charges must be point charges. The charges must be point charges. Therefore, it is not applicable. It is not applicable for large and extended bodies. Large extended bodies. For example, suppose this is a electric pole and this is a metal ball. So they are given the charges, say positive charges are given here. Positive charges are given on the ball. So there is a force of repulsion. So this force is not calculated by this equation. If we are to apply this Coulomb's law, then there is a condition. This length of the conductor, this is the radius of the conductor. So this L, this distance between their center is R. So L must be very, very much greater than R. Oh, sorry, very, very much less than distance between them. This radius of the sphere is very, very much less than. So R is a distance. This R is a distance between their centers. Sorry. So the distance between the two extended bodies, these are called the extended bodies. Their sizes are very, very large. So this distance between the two extended bodies between their center must be greater than their dimension. Yeah, L पेक्षा R ची value very, very large मध्ये. Okay. And now the third limitation you might be knowing already. Third limitation. So I will write down here. First limitation, second limitation. Now we know that inside the nucleus there are two types of charges, proton and neutron. So proton has positive charge. So between proton and proton, between two positive charges, according to the Coulomb's law, there is a repulsive force. But in case of nucleus, inside the nucleus, between proton there is no repulsive force. There is an attractive force, and that force is called as a nuclear force. It is not a Coulomb force. जरी प्रोटॉनला चार्ज आहे तरी त्या प्रोटॉन मध्ये Coulomb's law प्रमाणे रिपल्सिव्ह फोर्स नाही, तिथे अट्रॅक्टिव्ह फोर्स आहे. कधी तो फोर्सचा टाईपच बदलला जातो जरी चार्जेस असले तरी. अँड वाय? बिकॉज साइज ऑफ द न्यूक्लियस, the distance between the two proton inside the nucleus is very, very small. So this Coulomb's law is applicable only when the distances are large enough. If the distance between the two charges become less than size of the nucleus, 10 raised to minus 12 or 10 raised to minus 13 meter, then Coulomb's law is not applicable. So this is a very important limitation. Coulomb's law is applicable for distance r less than 10 raised to minus 12 meter, less than 10 raised to minus 12 or 10 raised to minus 13 meter. So this is the limitation. Below this distance, less than this distance, limitation example. Between protons inside the nucleus, there is no Coulomb force. There is no Coulomb force. म्हणजे तिथे हा लॉ अप्लिकेबल नाही. म्हणजे हे झालं लिमिटेशन. इफ द डिस्टन्सेस बिटवीन द टू चार्जेस आर, आपल्याला न्यूक्लियसची प्रॉपर्टी माहिती, बिटवीन टू प्रोटॉन there is a attractive force, there is no repulsive force, like this. So these are the limitations of the Coulomb's law. Now, but to give the vector form of the Coulomb's law, and that vector form is useful for the remaining article like electric field intensity, etc. also, and therefore we have to see this vector form afterward. This is the scalar form. It is in magnitude only. So magnitude is given by Coulomb's law. F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r square, like this. Now this constant for vacuum, the constant C is taken as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. For any other medium, C is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, and there is one addition in the denominator. So this K is again constant, and it is called as dielectric constant. Dielectric constant of a medium. Dielectric constant of a medium. So it is a unitless constant, like refractive index. तसा refractive index ला unit नहीं है, तसा K ला पण unit नसतात. So this K is called as the dielectric constant of the medium. Okay, we will stop here. Next time we will see the vector form of the Coulomb's law and the meaning of the dielectric constant. Permittivity and dielectric constant तसे दोघे एकमेकाशी related terms असतात. So we will see these two terms in the next lecture.